6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister is in Azerbaijan to attend the Pakistan-Turkey-Azerbaijan Trilateral Summit. The Field Marshal of Pakistan and Chief of the General Staff of the Iranian Armed Forces at a meeting in Tehran have discussed the evolving regional security landscape with focus on strengthening defense ties. Yom-e-Takbir will be celebrated with patriotic zeal tomorrow to commemorate nuclear tests conducted by Pakistan in 1998. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference has appealed to the United Nations Secretary-General to play his role in the release of Hurriyat leaders and activists languishing in jails. Pakistan has condemned the provocative actions by Israel aimed at undermining the religious, historical and legal status of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. The first T20 international of the three-match series between Pakistan and Bangladesh will be played in Lahore tomorrow. And now the news in detail. The Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif is in Lachin, Azerbaijan to attend the Pakistan-Turkey-Azerbaijan Trilateral Summit. On arrival, he was received by the Foreign Minister of Azerbaijan, Jihan Bayramov. The Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif will attend the Trilateral Summit alongside Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and the President of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev. The Prime Minister is also scheduled to hold a bilateral meeting with the President of Azerbaijan. Field Marshal Sayyid Asim Munir, the Chief of the Army Staff, visited the General Staff headquarters at Tehran in Iran. The Chief of the Army Staff held a meeting with the Chief of the General Staff of the Iranian Armed Forces, Major General Mohammad Bakri. The two military leaders discussed the evolving regional security landscape with particular focus on strengthening bilateral defense ties. Key areas of mutual interest included enhancing military-to-military cooperation, improving security mechanisms along the shared border. They also explored avenues for transforming the border regions into zones of trade and economic connectivity. Field Marshal Sayyid Asim Munir was accorded a warm welcome upon his arrival, including a ceremonial guard of honor presented by a well-turned-out contingent of the Iranian Armed Forces. The Chief of the Army Staff, alongside the Prime Minister of Pakistan, earlier met the Supreme Leader of Iran, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Hosseini Khamenei, and the President of Iran, Masoud Pezeshkian. Yom-e-Takbir will be celebrated with patriotic zeal tomorrow in remembrance of the nuclear tests conducted by Pakistan on this day in 1998. There will be a public holiday tomorrow. On this day, Pakistan became the seventh nuclear nation of the world and the first Muslim state having the nuclear arsenal in its defense stockpile. The team of Pakistan scientists, led by founder of Pakistan's nuclear program, Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan, and Dr. Samar Mubarakman, carried out the nuclear tests in the Rasko Hills in Chaghi district of Balochistan. The Planning Minister Ehsan Iqbal has reaffirmed Pakistan's commitment to regional economic integration. Addressing a function in Islamabad today, he said Pakistan's foreign policy is anchored in geo-economics and national development model. Udan Pakistan places connectivity, trade and sustainable growth at the heart of our strategy. He, however, said connectivity cannot thrive in an environment of coercion, occupation, and hegemonic ambition. He said peace is the first prerequisite for regional trade. The Planning Minister said India's recent actions have once again brought to light an inconsistent and irresponsible posture towards regional integration. He said India's continued denial of the legitimate rights of the people of Jammu and Kashmir and its obstruction to SAARC processes has rolled back the regional integration agenda by decades. A police personnel providing security to a polio vaccination team was martyred when unidentified gunmen opened fire in the Kili Muhammad Hassani area of Noshki, Balochistan today. President Asif Ali Zardari and Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif have strongly condemned the attack on polio team. In their separate statements, they extended their heartfelt condolences and sympathies to the family of the martyr. They affirmed that strict action will be taken against the terrorists targeting the polio campaign. The meeting of the Central Ruwat-e-Hilal Committee is being held in Islamabad today for the sighting of Zilhaj 1446 Hijri Eid al-Adha moon. The chairman of the committee, Maulana Sayyid Muhammad Abdul Khabir Azad, will preside over the meeting. The zonal Ruwat-e-Hilal committees will also meet separately at the respective headquarters for sighting of the Zilhaj moon. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference has condemned the continued illegal detentions of Hurriyat leaders and activists languishing in jails of India and occupied Jammu and Kashmir for the past many years. APHC spokesman Advocate Abdur Rashid Minhas, in a statement in Srinagar, appealed to the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres to play his role in the release of the detained political leaders and thousands of other prisoners. He said the Modi regime is victimizing Kashmiris for opposing India's illegal occupation of Jammu and Kashmir. The spokesman also urged the United Nations Human Rights Council and other global human rights watchdogs to send the teams to the occupied territory to monitor the plight of the detainees. In a related development, the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir's communal regime led by Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha has shifted dozens of Kashmiri political prisoners from occupied Jammu and Kashmir to hundreds and thousands of miles away across India. Pakistan has called for upholding the sanctity and historical status of the holy sites and preventing Israel from any further provocations. In a statement, the Foreign Office strongly condemned the latest provocative actions by Israeli occupying power and illegal settlers aimed at undermining the religious, historical and legal status of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. The statement said such actions are unacceptable and constitute a flagrant violation of the international law and can further escalate an already volatile situation in the region. The Foreign Office called for a forthwith end to these attacks and emphasized that Israel must be held accountable for its heinous crimes. 5 more Palestinians were martyred by the Israeli forces in Gaza today. The Israeli army forces opened fire towards the eastern areas of Gaza City and Al-Mawasi in Khan Yunis. The Association of Southeast Asian Gulf Cooperation Council and China have agreed to expand economic engagements amid the American tariff threat. The agreement was reached at a trilateral summit in the Malaysian capital Kuala Lumpur today. In his opening remarks, the Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim said the summit would open a new chapter of dialogue and cooperation. Addressing the summit, the Chinese Premier Li Qiang said the three-way cooperation would benefit all sides, contributing to economic development and peace in the region. The Russian President Vladimir Putin and Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan have discussed measures to end the war in Ukraine. At a meeting in Moscow, they discussed the initiatives carried out recently to end the war and developments following the negotiations held in Istanbul. And now cricket, the first T20 international of the 3-match series between Pakistan and Bangladesh will be played in Lahore tomorrow. The match will start at 8 p.m. And finally, the weather report. Hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, partly cloudy weather with rain, windstorm and thunderstorm is likely in Islamabad, Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Northeast Balochistan, Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. Isolated heavy falls and hailstorm is expected during the period. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.